Donald Trump is being sued by the Central Park Five for defamation based off remarks he made during the last debate. Will this case get anywhere? Let's check out CNN and see what they have to say.
2 weeks to go until the election, and former President Trump is facing a new legal battle. Members of the Central Park Five are now suing the former president over, quote, false and defamatory statements they say that he made about their 1989 case during a presidential debate last month.
CNN senior crime and justice reporter Caitlin Polans joins us now with more. Caitlin, what is in this lawsuit?
Well, this lawsuit is about comments that Donald Trump made publicly at this presidential debate. At the debate in September in Philadelphia, Kamala Harris had brought up the fact that Donald Trump, just days after the Central Park Five were arrested, this assault in Central Park in 1989, he had put an ad in several newspapers, full page, that said, "Bring back the death penalty, bring back the police." And then Donald Trump responded at the debate just this year this way.
A lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park Five. They admitted, they said, they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty.
All right, so even though I was about 4 years old at the time, I don't remember anything about it, but I did do research on that case. First things first, they were falsely charged. And when these police officers use entrapment type of tactics to get a confession out of somebody, that is wrong. And that's what the police officers did in 1989. They did not have the evidence to tie these young men to the crime. In fact, these young men were not even near that part of Central Park when that person got hurt. And it's so sad that what happened to her, because we now know that it was a person by the name of Matthias Reyes who actually did the crime. It's so sad that these men had to go through that, and their parents was there when they made those false confessions. It's very, very sad how some police officers can do this, can get a person to falsely confess to something that they didn't do, and it is protected under the law because of a 1969 U.S. Supreme Court case that states that police can use false tactics to get you or get a person to confess to something that he or she may or may not have done. It is very sad, and things need to change because there's a lot of people who have gone to jail falsely based off of tactics that the police have used to get them to confess to something that they did not do.
The Central Park Five now say that he is saying these things as a way to cause distress to them because they were exonerated ultimately. They had ultimately settled with New York City.
I don't think he's doing that, but you know, sometimes Trump says things where he needs to just be quiet, like shut up, like who is his handler? He shouldn't have said that. What he should have said was this: you know what? In 1989, it was a terrible time. So much crime was going on in the city. And yes, I did thought that those guys did it. And I was wrong. And I would have looked at the camera to see. This is moments that as politicians, some of these politicians don't take advantage of. I would have looked at the camera and I would have said, to those 5 men, I am sorry. I should never have done that. We did not know what we know now. And for that, I apologize. Boom! You know what happened? People would have looked and said, damn, Uncle Trump, you admit that you're wrong? That's good. Instead of doubling down on the damn lie. Like, come on, who is his handlers? Like, that's what, it's so many things, so many mishaps. And I'm telling you, mark my words, if Trump loses, this could be one of the reasons why he loses. Hey guys, this is just a quick message to ask you, if you haven't already, to like the video. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would greatly appreciate that you do subscribe. Why? I'm a new YouTuber and I'm trying to grow, and I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by my birthday in December. So please help a brother out. Thank you so much for watching. Back to the video.
After being forced into giving false statements, they had gone to trial, and they are all saying now they never pleaded guilty. They were cleared of the wrongdoing. No one was killed in this attack in 1989, and this has been a pattern from Donald Trump dating the whole way back to the aftermath of that attack when these men were arrested, that he has wanted to intentionally harm them and cause them distress. And one of the plaintiffs, one of the men in Central Park 5, he was at that debate in Philadelphia and even tried to approach Trump, and they had what he said, or what his attorneys say, was they wanted to have some sort of polite discourse about what Trump had said in the moment on national television about these exonerated men, and Trump essentially blew him off. He wouldn't engage with them. So this lawsuit is a defamation case that they're bringing now to try and say, you know, make us whole, stop intentionally lying, stop intentionally harming us. And of course, the context here is right before the campaign. There's quite an ongoing appeal among the campaigns to Black men specifically, a lot of discussion about crime. And then also in this context, Donald Trump has been found liable for defamation before against E. Jean Carroll.
Joining me now to...
I would say this. It's a lot of things that Trump has said in the past that has come to bite him in the you-know-what. Instead of this man just saying, listen, you know what? I was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. He keeps going and keeps, pushing it forward. Sometimes as men, we are hard-headed, and we don't understand that we keep putting our foot in our mouth. Uncle Trump, that was a situation that at that time in 1989, so many people thought that these young men did it. They were guilty in the court of public opinion, right? Because so many people, we didn't know about DNA evidence. A lot of people didn't know about DNA evidence at the time and stuff like that. But you look at it and say that if the DNA evidence didn't tie them to the crime, if they were nowhere near the crime scene, why would you put them there? It is crazy how a lot of these police officers who get to retire with a nice, sweet pension after causing people harm in their life, they get to go and retire and live their life while people have to pick up the pieces. That is so ridiculously sad. And we have to stop that. What Trump can do is just apologize. Just have a meeting with these men and just be straight up for it. Listen, I did that because I didn't have all the information. I thought you were guilty based off of what the information was put out, based off what the media put out, based off what so many people was talking about, and based off just seeing how heinous that crime was to that banker. I mean, let's be straight off the bat. She was left for dead. And like her eye socket was busted out. She was in a coma for about 2 weeks. It was a very sad and sickening crime. And the man who did it is in jail right now, and he's in jail forever, where he should be. But those young men did not do the crime. And all you have to do is understand that, hey, look, if the evidence did not say that they were there, they weren't there. And so many people, I understand that people may get upset and things like that. This is not going to stop me from voting for this man. It will give me something to look at and say, okay, well, maybe can he fully be trusted? But none of these politicians can really be trusted when it comes down to it. So how I look at it is, hey, it is what it is. But I do feel that he should apologize. I feel that if he were to do that and have a meeting with these men and say, I messed up and I'm sorry, things would be different. But when you keep going at it and keep saying something foolish, this is what happened. Now he's going to be sued, or is being sued, for defamation of character. And I don't know, he may not beat this case. He may not beat this case. So we just have to understand that, hey, look, got to be very, very careful. I'm going to put this link in the description box so that you guys can watch the full video. I just wanted to talk about that and say that these men, their case was vacated, which means that in legal jargon, that case never happened, and they were exonerated, which means that new evidence came forward and showed that they were never there, that this person here, Matthias Reyes, did the crime, him and him alone. Even though there's people that say that he possibly had help, but even if he did have help, it wasn't them, because they were nowhere near the crime. So please, we have to understand. Let's think and use this brain. There is so much information and technology out here that can make sure that things like this never happen again. So let's continue pursuing and getting more technological advances so that young men and women will never be put in jail when they don't have to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you found this video informative, to like the video. That will help me out with the algorithm. Make some comments. Tell me, how do you feel about some of the things that Trump has said? Tell me, how do you feel about the Central Park 5? Tell me, how do you feel if you were around that time in New York? Tell me just, how do you think about that situation, and how did you portray it when you was living at that time? And last but not least, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I would greatly appreciate that you do subscribe. Why? I'm a new YouTuber. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by my birthday in December. So please help a brother out. Really would appreciate it. Till next time, guys, have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Peace.